Namaste friends, welcome to Yoga Bliss with Shelly, and I'm Shelly. Today's practice is dedicated to my daughter with special needs. Today's practice is, we're calling it special needs yoga today, because whether you have special needs like my daughter, we all have special needs. I have two other kiddos who are not special needs, but they have a lot of special needs. We all do, right? I know I do too. My daughter was recently diagnosed with a lot of things, with an intellectual disability, which I don't know much about. I am learning about this disability, and it's just helping us better understand her, that the research is showing that only 1% of kiddos have that. She doesn't have any of the things that hinder her from getting herself ready and things. This all has to do with how her brain absorbs and processes information, which is extremely at her own pace, and she's a unique, incredible light. She was also diagnosed with a math and a reading disability, also known as dyslexia, and autism, the big shabamble, which is this huge spectrum, right? It's this spectrum. I almost call this class spectrum, and I might do another one, because life is this huge spectrum, and whether or not you're on the spectrum or off of the spectrum, I think in ways we all have our weird quirks and things. So join me today as we unravel the special needs. And if you are a parent or a person who works with special needs kids, I welcome you with open arms, and I give you so much gratitude for what you do for these incredible humans. If you know someone who has a child with special needs or is special needs, please invite them to this class, because this is just in my heart right now. Well, I love you so much. Grab yourself a cozy couch blanket, a pillow, and this class is geared more towards beginners and beyond, but mostly towards beginners. So know that you can come and show up as you are. I'm super excited to practice with you today, and together let's unroll our mat, unpeel the edges, and together let us do this. Welcome, my friends. Join me in a crisscross applesauce. In yoga, we call it Sukhasana, or the easy pose. I took this nice blanket and folded it and put it under my sit bones. Sit bones are just the bones under the booty, under the butt. I know sometimes it's like, what is that? I think I should know what that is, but what is it? Sit bones under the booty. This pillow is here for your support, so grab that pillow, put that under those sit bones. This is going to create a little slight pelvic tilt. And it's just like, if you can imagine, like your pelvis, your hips is this bowl of fruit, and you can just tip it forward, and maybe a couple grapes roll out onto the floor, and you're tilted, and just allow yourself to get rooted into your seat. I know when I first start a yoga class, I get a little antsy, so maybe just let yourself get a little antsy and wiggly, and let's take a little movement here so we can slow down. Yoga is the union. It's the joining of the breath to the body. So together we're going to just gently rise our hands, wide open starfish, 5-5, high five hands above the head, and floating them to the heart center. And joining me as we create a little resistance. So use your focus, your attention on your hands as you press those hands together, and just dive and slice your hands forward. So bringing the thumbs up to the sky and the pinky pointing more, the back side of the pinky, the outside of the pinky pointing down to the earth here. As we exhale, diving like a swimmer forward, arching the back, inhaling, opening up the arms like wings, and then taking a little free expression. And sometimes free expressions come naturally. You could just mimic me. Sometimes they don't. I love yoga because it allows me to slow down, and no matter what's happening in my home life, my family life, that I can use yoga to come back into my own. So just gently bringing the hands horizontally or from the core, just tucking that navel towards the spine. Exhale, diving forward, bringing palms, kissing palms, and coming back up to the heart center. So this is a robin's breath. It's a really great breath to just kind of get us in tune. So take 5 of these at your own pace. So you can follow me or take it at your own pace, and it's just exhaling, inhaling, allowing yourself to find that little free expression that makes you this unique being. And knowing that being around someone who has special needs or on the spectrum, off the spectrum, dyslexia, whatever the learning disability or special need may be, that we are all special, that these labels do not define ourselves. These labels do not define the people in our lives. That tests and labels are helpful, right? They're helpful to help us get people that we love or ourselves the helps that we need. But they don't define us as a person. As is our jobs. Our jobs don't define us, right? I am not yoga. I don't walk around saying, hello, I am yoga. No, I am me. I am this light, this love. Let's take 2 more of those. I don't know where you are in your robin's breath, but just allow yourself to find that free expression. Maybe in the shoulders, if that feels good. I know I'm feeling a little cricky and poppy. Often our family members, people we love, ourselves, it can bring a great lot of stress and overwhelm. Exhaling. But when we take time to slow down and practice self-care, it's what helps us survive. Exhaling, and just gently from here, just crossing the midsection. I know for my daughter, this is really hard for her. It's a huge struggle. She does not like this. She would much rather almost go all the way over here and then try to do something like this. So whatever you need to do, if it's easy for you to cross that midsection, go for it. But if it is a struggle for you, take it your own way if you need to, or if you need to just do something simple like this, that's okay too. Because being wherever you are is exactly where you need to be, my friend. And in this moment, this is a moment called self-compassion. This is something that most people have not taught us. As we breathe our breath in and let it go, knowing that we must treat ourselves kindly how most of us treat other people. Sometimes people have a hard time treating other people kindly because they're hurting inside. Or maybe sometimes there's a part of the brain that isn't functioning and they can't quite understand that we need to connect and treat people a certain way. And that's okay. Again, that's why these labels and diagnoses, they help, but they don't define the person. And in this moment, allowing that breath to breathe into that heart and just fill it up. Maybe you're feeling tightness or discomfort. Maybe sometimes tears arise. I know my practice this morning, as my daughter just had her preliminary diagnoses yesterday, I was crying on my yoga mat. It's, it was a hard morning. It's nothing that I pick for myself, but I know that life chooses us, and I believe that my children chose me because I'm the perfect mama. I'm a good mom. I'm a good mom even though I don't feel like it all the time, and I know I'm doing my best and I'm showing up, and just bowing the head to honor yourself. And just within yourself, just repeating, I love you, self. I love you, self. I love you, self. And repeating, I approve of you, self. I approve of you, self. I approve of you, self. I accept you, self. I accept you, self. I accept you, self. And gently, just taking a moment, just letting those words just wrap around you. And just allow yourself to feel whatever emotions or pain or stress, unease that you're feeling. And just allow it, because when we can allow our emotions, we're giving them permission to be free from us. Because as I've been living on the Shakespeare beautiful quote, this too shall pass, not one thing will stick forever. And gently exhaling the right hand to the earth as you inhale with the left, and gently bringing that across the midline, across the head if this feels good for you. Maybe you have a shoulder injury or something and that doesn't feel good, so maybe even just doing this, if this is where you can go, that's okay. Or even if you need to do something like this. That's okay. If you can inhale, raising above, but knowing again, no judgment. This is your practice. It is a home practice for a reason. You can inhale and just give yourself a moment and maybe find a little free expression. Again, that feels good. I'm really feeling the love in my shoulders, and that's probably because our shoulders are linked to our heart chakra, our heart center, which is related to how we love and how we heal. And I know for me that it was kind of painful hearing things about my daughter, because obviously we want people to be perfect, but nobody is perfect. Inhaling that in, that we're all here on this journey. Exhaling the opposite hand into the earth, planting wide open starfish hands. Inhaling the opposite arm. And again, if you need to be here, how's your shoulder? What's up with your shoulders? If they're hurting, find that edge, that space between not enough and too much. Or if you can inhale and bring that across, that we are unique on these paths, and our special needs that maybe we have, or the people we love have, people we teach have, that it's part of their journey, and we're just all here together, supporting and loving. Inhaling that up. Good job, my friends. Exhaling that out. From here, we're going to just gently slip those sit bones onto the mat. And I actually have blanket and a pillow. I used to think blankets and pillows were for weaklings in yoga. That was my mindset. They are here to support us. I have really tight hamstrings, that back muscle in the back of the leg and the back of the booty. So my legs are not like what the images of what we've been taught to believe that yogis are. This is me, I'm a yogi, and my hamstrings are not super stretchy and bendy, and that's okay. So we're gonna use this pillow for support, so set yourself up. We're gonna lengthen our legs long in front of us and just tune into the feet and being okay with any cricks or pops. And just kind of scan all the way up and tune in if those knees are wanting to point out or point in. You can do what feels good, but try to find a little stability from the core by hugging that navel back towards the spine. And if you can, getting the knees and the toes pointed up high to the sky, up to the sun, and tuning into those sit bones and the heart here, finding a length in the spine, taking one hand and pressing it into the earth. And you can turn the fingers towards the sit bones if that feels good. Check in, does it feel better to turn the hands out, or something way, way deeper would be to turn away from you. And if you are turning back away from you and the palms facing the sit bones, really be aware of the elbows, because we don't ever want to hyperextend our elbows. Some people naturally hyperextend if that's comfortable for you. But I was taught in yoga to always keep a micro bend to keep healthy joints in the body. So doing what feels good for you, drawing length from the sit bones all the way high up to the sky. I know this is one of those moves that you can feel nothing or a lot. So if you're not feeling anything, then you need to activate. Hit your activate button. Turn on your inner lightsaber. I'm a Star Wars fan. Activate your inner force. And really, you can squeeze the booty, the core, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Open up the heart. Humbly tucking the chin, or exhale. You can open up the neck if that feels good. If you're having a hard time speaking your truth, if you're having lots of throat things going on, I know I manifest a lot of things in my throat, and speaking my truth is a part of my journey. Open that throat chakra up, and maybe think or imagine the color blue coming in and just showering down on you as you breathe that breath in and letting that go. From here, my friends, inhale, raising those arms up high, high, high to the sky. Exhale, tipping, hinging forward. You can grab towards the feet. You can grab towards the shins or the knees. And again, this might be different for you. You might be all the way up here, and that's okay. You might be able to rock out and take these pillows down and completely fold forward, and that is fine. So folding forward in a way that feels good for you, my friends, as you breathe a breath into that back body and letting that go. And just taking this time for ourselves as we breathe that breath in and letting that go. And I know that for me, self-care is essential, which means me getting my butt on my mat to show up even when I'm feeling sad or having painful moments or feeling anxious or depressed, and just allowing myself to feel however I feel on this mat, because every day Every practice is a new experience. Breathing a breath into the back body and letting that go, my friends. Just settling into however you're feeling. Just letting this breath come in and letting it go. And if it's feeling a little tight in your neck, maybe you can walk your hands up. And in yoga, when we can hold poses in a restorative fashion, so it's like we're resting and restoring for longer than 60 seconds, we are deepening at the connective tissue and we are creating more mobility and flexibility within our body. So I know sometimes that our minds can be telling us lots of things. So we breathe that breath in when we're holding poses and just to let it just be, my friends. Good job. And slowly and mindfully just raising up. So however that looks for you, raising up each vertebrae. You can bring the hands up high, high, high to the sky, or you can just walk yourself up. I'm just gonna gently move the pillow out of the way. We're going to use this blanket. Joy has brought his little giraffe. You guys, when we first adopted Joy, he was this size of this giraffe. We've had it this whole time, and look how big he is 2 years later. So from here, anyways, back to sidetracking, swishing those feet over to the side and coming in on that blanket on all fours. So this blanket is here to protect your joints. So just making sure there's not any big ripples or anything like that, and just setting open for big wide open starfish hands, which just means like a big high five hand, opposed to just sometimes when we do things new or we're trying it, our hands are lazy. So just really engage that hand. If you have wide shoulders like me, you can extend the pinky or even the ring finger off of the edges of the mat as you align the hands under handprint under the shoulder and tuning into the hips and the knees and the feet alignment here, my friends, and just gently rolling the eyes of the elbows forward, the short edge of your mat, my friends. Exhaling as you grow that spine up big, 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 like a black cat on Halloween, tucking the chin in towards the tail. Taking a couple breaths here, maybe 3, just to deepening that breath in and letting that go. And just allowing yourself just to feel however you're feeling in this moment, without trying to change it or think you're wrong or having guilt or resentment, and just feeling yourself as you are here and now. Exhaling that navel down towards the earth, bringing the chin and the tail, those sit bones, high up to the sky, so you'll really feel this in that spine as you breathe that breath in. And letting yourself just be how you are. And feeling what it feels like in your spine. And take 3 of these, my friends, at your own pace. So whatever that looks like, you can arch that back up like that big black cat. When I teach kiddos yoga, and my kids are going to the school, we like to meow, and then we like to exhale, drop, and moo. It's always really fun to make it fun. You can always wag out the hips here like your little puppy, your playful puppy. Inhaling, raising that up. Exhaling it out. And tuning into your last cow and cat variation. Exhaling it out. And from here, my friends, just allowing the forearms to rest long, lengthened on the short edge of the mat, towards the short edge of the mat. Legs just still behind you. You can kind of walk them back a little bit. And just from here, however it feels in your shoulders. So this might be where you can be. And if you do have a shoulder injury, this might not feel good for you, so you might just want to continue with those cow and the cats, or maybe take a little free movement if that feels good for you. If you can just lengthen the arms long and just melt that heart back down towards the earth for a happy puppy here. So knowing that this looks different for everyone, and sometimes there are mornings or days when I practice and I can only be here, and there's others where it feels really good to melt the heart and the head all the way down to the earth here. And just wag out that tail, like a little happy puppy, and just, you can bark or you can pant if that feels good for you, and just feel what that feels like in your body, my friends. Bless you. Got a little sneezer over here. And breathing that breath into that back body and letting that go, my friends. Good job. And from here, just slowly coming back to that tabletop. So that tabletop is just on all fours. And from here, we're gonna just gently peel this blanket out of the way and get that out of the way. So whatever that looks like for you and getting that out of the way. So from here, we're gonna release our hand about 1 to 2 handprints from the shoulder. So just kind of feel your shoulder. Okay, we're here. You can even measure with your other hand if that feels good for you. Then you might lose your place on the other side. So doing your best to create that open, active, wide open starfish hand. I'm gonna take my glasses off for this if you have glasses. This pose might be a good one to take your glasses off. If you would like to tuck in your shirt, you may do that. Set yourself up for success because we're going to roll into our first downward facing dog. We're not really rolling into it, but we're gonna move into it next. So taking the eyes at the elbows, because I think a lot of us have this idea that we're gonna do a push-up and that's winging the arms out. So we're gonna just tuck them in. We're gonna corset that core strength by drawing the navel back towards the spine and coming up on those tippity toes for this really special inversion. And we're gonna just gently inhale, lift up and hover from the ground, and slowly at your own pace, bring those sit bones high, high, high up to the sky. And again, this is gonna look different for everyone depending on your hamstrings and your flexibility. And you can walk those hands closer. No judgment here, my friends. Sinking that heart all the way down towards, more parallel to the thighs. They're not going to be exactly parallel, but some people can do that. But just bringing that heart towards, as you can hollow out, just imagining carving out a hollow log in the front body and opening up the shoulders and the back body. And you can just walk the legs here for a moment, maybe pedaling the feet. And as we're on this journey for our special needs, and knowing that we all have special needs, and I love to take this opportunity in an inversion, this is called an inversion because we're inverted upside down, to look at the world differently. See what it looks like. Like, I often wonder what it looks like to see the world through my daughter's eyes, because she just is so unique. And I know she's just like snapping little pictures because she has this incredible photographic memory, and she can remember the craziest memories from when she was like little, and she can remember people's dresses and what they were wearing and what they were doing. Yet sometimes accessing short-term memory is really big a challenge for her, my friends. And as we look at this different perspective, just notice as you breathe that breath in, letting that go. And from here, we're gonna just slowly bring the weight forward into a plank. So my feet kind of slid back a little bit. So feel the difference in the engagement in the shoulders. So from up here, the butt goes up high, high, high. Exhaling, bringing the weight in and still keeping those hands really firm into the earth, and you're creating this flat back. And we're gonna just exhale gently. You can release the knees to the earth if that's what you need to do, or you can just allow yourself to come all the way down to the earth. And we're gonna inhale, and we're gonna just push those hands long, lengthen those legs behind you, and lengthen the arms ahead of you. So you have the option for a Sphinx here. The Sphinx is just hands are lengthened long, arms wide open, and just inhaling for this more gentle back bend, which I love this one. Or if you would like, you can take a cobra, which is just bringing the hands more by the shoulders and then lifting up. And knowing that you don't have to do this huge pushing all the way up. If that feels good for you, rock on, you can. You can keep the feet pointed up high or down low. So just tune into what feels good for you. A Sphinx for me feels wonderful as we create this just beautiful back bend. And feel what it feels like in your booty in the bottom, and the glutes and the hamstrings. And you can really hug those together as you inhale from that core, breathing that breath in, creating this lovely back bend. Back bends are an integral part of keeping our body healthy, and they don't always have to be these crazy like wheels or someone you see in Cirque du Soleil. They can be these just little simple variations, things like this, just creating a healthier, better version of ourselves, my friends, because we have a lot happening in our lives. There's lots of things going on, and no matter if you have special needs people in your life or not, we all have special needs. There's special things going on. My sons have their own challenges, and they are not special needs, and that life is always busy. It's always happening, and that we need to show up here for us on our mat as we are, my friends. Inhaling that breath up. If you want, you can give yourself just a little You can droop that head forward and just feel what that feels like. Exhaling. Inhaling it up. Good job, my friends. And from here, we're going to just exhale. And as we're on our belly, and we're going to do a couple different variations for this next pose. So the first variation is we're kind of rooted into the earth on our tummy. And if you have really bony hips, I know if I'm on a hard floor, I have to have a blanket under my hips. So if you're on a hard floor, put a blanket underneath of your belly. But if you're not, I'm okay here. So just know that this, sometimes the bones can get into the earth. So we're going to bend one foot, and then we're going to bend the opposite foot. And I'm babysitting a puppy that is being a little barker right now. So that's Julesie's, and she's having a little bark attack. So we are going to release one arm back and the other arm back, and we're going to inhale and raise up for another back bend. So this gentle variation of a boat pose and bow. This one's the bow. And we're going to lift up. If this feels good for you, you can stay here, or you can even fly those legs back, all the way back as you squeeze through the body. Or there is a second option, my friends, to keep those legs bent, and just depending on where you are in your body. Again, first option, you can lift up and be here and know that that is enough. Or if you need to be here, that's great. You can really feel this in the core and the back body, wrapping around to all the muscles in the back, where people feel like they get love handles and things. It's really good for toning that. Or you can float one hand back and just grab the outside of the ankle and be where the foot kind of likes to get lazy here. So you're going to want to envision like this invisible ceiling coming down on the foot. You're going to reach around to the other leg. If you have a block here, would be a great time to grab that. And you can actually place the block, and I know at first it feels weird, but you place the block between the thighs, and it helps you with your muscle control in your legs. So I've got my block, so I'm going to kind of wedge it up there between the thighs near the pelvic wall. And you want to squeeze the legs, the thighs together. And you can just exhale and settle, and you can inhale to rise. And know wherever you are in this is okay. Again, if you have a shoulder injury or something funky, this might not be the best for you, but this also is such a fun pose. It's like this incredible bow. I like to envision like a bow and arrow and shooting, and you know, we're not always going to make the mark. We're going to miss the mark sometimes, because life is perfectly imperfect just the way it is. As we breathe the breath in and let that go, big breath in, and slowly floating down to the earth, ha 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 ha, and just letting that body rest for a moment, and just feel however that feels in your body. That is a good one. I love that pose. My legs are really long and lengthening off my mat. One of these days I'm going to get a really long mat, because I'm really tall. I've always been a really tall girl. And from here, we're going to just gently inhale, raising that body up, woo, coming onto that tabletop position. See, that's fun. That's a fun one. And from this tabletop position, my friends, we're just going to step one foot forward. So you can take that right or left foot, doesn't matter, either or, and step it forward. If you're super new to the practice, you might want to help your hand and walk. If you've been around the block, the yoga block, you can do a plank and you can step that foot forward, doing whatever feels best for you here, my friends. And just allowing your body to kind of settle into this runner's lunge as we come a little bit forward. And just rooting that back foot into the earth and the front foot. And we're going to inhale, coursing that core strength. Ha ha. Raising up that body, my friends. And just feeling whatever it feels like in your body to be here. We're going to inhale, raising those arms high, high, high up to the sky for our crescent lunge. And we're going to give ourselves, again, that little gentle back bend. We're just back bending is such this incredible part of movement that helps us open our heart, because I know that a lot of things can trigger pain, right? Special needs, it's hard. It's painful. There's a lot of suffering for people that we love. So we need to continue to open our hearts, my friends. Big breath here. As we pause in this body, if your back's not feeling that jam, you can do this. Or you can also bring those legs together and lift that leg up. You can cactus those arms. You can fly them back. You can do so many things here, because everyone's special in their own ways. Inhaling that body up. Exhaling. both hands kissing both hands. Exhale to twist to one side. So you're twisting towards that bent leg. Option again to stand that foot down on the earth, or option to power up and rise up, my friends. And just test your center of gravity in your body and wherever you are. And this could be really challenging, and that's okay. Breathing that breath into that body, exhaling it out, meeting me at center. And you can off and on challenge yourself. Inhale to raise, exhale, twisting the opposite direction. It's gonna be more wobbly on one side. You can always go to that knee down on the earth, breathing that breath in. Doing hard things sometimes is hard. Exhaling that out. Wonderful work, my friends. Meeting you back at center. Hands diving down. You can release that hand to the earth and just slowly, woo, you can wiggle out that leg. Woo, that feels good. That's a good burn, right? And whatever this looks like for you, you can walk this opposite foot up. Foot framed, the hands framed on the outside of the foot. Or you can do, if you want to get a little fancy and you've been practicing a little bit longer, you can bring that foot forward. And tuning in here for more of this runner's lunge, setting yourself up for success as you root through the front foot and hind foot. We're going to course it through that core strength, and we're going to lift up. And if you're feeling wobbly, more on one side than the other, that's completely fine. Our bodies are different in every aspect. So from here, you can choose to stay here, but really set yourself up for success like you're on that set of skis and almost zipping up through the pelvic wall all the way to the core and the chin. If you want to stay here, you can. You can inhale, float those arms up high, or you can inhale, powering the hands, powering up through the thighs, squeezing the thighs in the blue glute booty. Then you can just exhale into a cactus. Woo, if you're feeling wobbly, that's okay, so am I. Breathing that breath in here and letting that go as we do hard things. We breathe that breath in, exhaling it out, palms kissing palms to the heart center. Exhale, twisting towards the bent leg as we breathe that breath in, working through the shake, working through that mind. Exhaling it out, meeting me at center and twisting to the opposite side, doing whatever feels best for you. If you need to go on the earth and twist, that is okay. I just had a huge knee crickly poppy, and that's telling me that I need to kind of stay down on this knee, and that's okay, my friends. Good job, you have got this. And from here, meeting me back at center, and from here, just bringing that foot back. Holy moly, in the thighs. From here, my friends, you can just swing the legs to one side and come back to the sit bones. And I'm gonna grab the blanket. You can grab yours, scooch that booty forward, and just grab your blanket. And we're gonna use this for support for the spine. You don't have to do this if you don't want to, but I like to. Actually, yes, we're gonna do this. I just had a new idea and I'm gonna go on the fly. So let's use this and our pillow. So if you don't have a pillow, please, please, please pause this and just grab one. This pose is absolutely one of my favorite poses because we're doing lots of heart openers, and we're gonna finish off. We're gonna wind down with another heart opening pose. So we are gonna have our blanket and our pillow. Just pause the video. It's super easy. Just go grab one from your bed, whatever. You can do it. It will take you like 10 seconds, maybe 20. So from here, my friends, we're gonna just release the legs in front of us, bent here. And from the core, you're just gonna almost push that inner lightsaber, right? That special inner force, that inner light that's within all of us. We're gonna just exhale and release down onto the pillow. So my pillow's up way too high. So I'm just gonna come up, and you actually want the pillow more towards your lower back. So that's why, Shelly. Just exhaling again until you get it right. There it is. So you want the shoulders, and the head wants to be more rested down onto the earth, and you let your arms open. This is a Matsyendrasana, a supported fish variation. So just tune into your legs. You don't even have to look at me. Close your eyes if you can. You can just bend the feet and keep them up if that feels good, or you can open the feet up and you can allow the knees to just rest together. You can also just lengthen the legs long if that feels good, or you can also bend the legs and bringing the soles of the feet, kissing the soles of the feet, more for a Baddha Konasana, a butterfly. And just here in this moment, Just allow that heart to soften. Allow the chest to open. Maybe allow the hands to get heavy. Maybe let go of some stress that you're holding in your hands, some pain that you're holding in your heart. Allow your throat to be open. Allow that throat chakra to be here, because we are the advocates of our life. We must speak our truth. We must help the ones that we love, that are the special needs people, that are these incredible beings, that they need our help, and we're here to help them. But we're here mostly, and first off, to help ourselves, because we cannot show up good for anyone if we don't take time to practice self-care, if we don't take time for us, if we don't take time to honor our own emotions. Because we hold a lot, we do a lot of things, we see, we experience, and we must nurture us too, so we can take care of those that we love, all the people and all the needs. And just allow that heart center to open as you breathe that breath in. And letting it go. And if this resonates with you, you can imagine like a point of light, or like a lightsaber light, or a star floating down from the sky, and just shoot, coming all the way to your chest, and just allowing that little light to just turn on. Just allow that space within your heart to be open and softened, and to just be open to love, be open to healing, and whatever that looks like for you as you bring that breath in. And letting that go, my friends. Expanding and opening of the heart. And letting that go. Good job, my friends. And when you're ready from here, if your legs were down, we're going to just gently kind of roll to one side, if you can do that, and remove that pillow. Woo! Even though I just could stay there forever, I still have my blanket. And then just allow your spine to lay on the mat, allow your arms to lay long, allow the legs to lay long, and just let your body open up like a starfish as we give a nice counter pose to that fish, to that little back bend, that supported back bend, as we just find our surrender, as we're in our Savasana. Just allow yourself to just be here as you are, as you allow your toes to relax, as you melt the heels, let the calves soften, just relaxing in the sit bones, relaxing your spinal column, each vertebrae, relaxing your belly button, relaxing the heart, and even if it's feeling full or painful, trying your best to relax the shoulders, relaxing the biceps, the triceps, the long parts of the arms, relaxing the fingers and the palms, and scanning up and relaxing to the throat, melting the jaw, letting go of the cheekbones, softening the eyes, or allowing the eyelids to get heavy, deepening at the forehead and the space where the third eye lives, and melting at the skull, and just taking a scan, just allowing your body to surrender, and allowing yourself just to let go, as we mantra within, let go. Today I choose to let go. I choose to let go of some of the pain, or the disappointment, or the overwhelm, or the anxiety. I choose to let go of the labels, the judgments, the name calling. I choose to embrace what is, and I choose to expect good things to happen. As I open my heart to love here, and I surrender to all that I cannot control. I surrender my need to control. I surrender to all. I'm taking 3 of your own breaths at your own pace. Expanding at the ribs and deflating, just filling up that body with clean, fresh air. And letting yourself go. Inhale, bring that breath in. Surrendering to what is. Good job, my friends. And just gently bringing palms, kissing palms to your heart. And just acknowledging yourself, acknowledging your pain and suffering, acknowledging how you're feeling, and acknowledging that the special needs people or within ourselves, that it is a gift to us. And knowing that every moment, every fear, every obstacle, every elated emotion, that this too shall pass, like Shakespeare so beautifully put it, that not everything lasts forever, that there are moments of goodness and happiness and joy, and when we can just allow ourselves to show up as we are, accepting and surrendering, that this is good, that all is well. I love you, my friends. I'm so grateful for you. And if you would like me, you can join me up in a seated position, which I know it's kind of hard to pop up from. You can still stay laying down. And just allowing yourself to honor and acknowledge yourself. And I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for all the special needs people in the whole universe. I'm so grateful for my daughter and her inspiration. And I truly had this vision, and maybe one day this will come to fruition and you can help me, that I was in a huge room that was filled full of people, parents or care providers or people who were special needs, and that we were all coming together as a community in practicing yoga to help us cope. And I'm putting that out there. So that's what this class is beginning that. So know that I'm so grateful for you, and you are so special. And if you are a care provider for someone with special needs, I send you a warm hug, and I give you so much gratitude, and know that all of these struggles and this pain and the elation and the joy that we get to experience, that these are here, they're here for our highest good. And I know sometimes it's hard in the moment to understand why, that these special needs people that are surrounding us, these gifts, and how they see and they hear and they experience the world is a gift. And I would never change. I wouldn't change my daughter for the world. I would want her just to be exactly how she is, and allow her to experience the world exactly how she does, because it's perfect for her. I love you so much, and I will see you back here very soon. Namaste, my friends.